Oi, aqui é o Vash. Como eu havia prometido, esse é o primeiro dos 2 vídeos de entrevista sobre o Necromante. Eu quero ver se eu acho mais vídeos desse tipo para que vocês tenham o máximo de informação possível sobre a classe, mas até onde eu sei, só existem 2 vídeos recentes, então acabando esses, a gente vai ter que esperar uma nova leva de eventos, anúncios e coisas do gênero. A entrevista foi feita pelo youtuber Panzer do canal TradeChat, e o link para o vídeo original está na descrição. Mais uma vez, se você gostou, deixa um like e se inscreve no canal para não perder os próximos vídeos.
Hey everyone out there in YouTube, I am here at PAX East with some very cool guys. You mind introducing yourself to everyone?
Sure, I'm Rob Foote. I'm a lead game producer on Diablo 3.
And I'm Matthew Berger. I'm a senior designer on Diablo 3.
Cool. And we actually got a little sneak peek of some of the stuff going on with the Necromancer today, and it was so awesome getting to play. And I know I said this to you earlier, but man, the female Necromancer looks amazing. She looks so good. How much of you guys' thoughts and ideas went into her aesthetic?
Well, I mean, we have an amazing art team, and from the beginning when we were making the Necromancer and realizing we're going to have to make a male and female version, we were really excited to bring the female Necromancer to life. And John Mueller, our art director, made some amazing pieces, like this piece here right behind us, and I think it really appealed to that kind of that rock star vibe.
Yeah.
Is really what we were looking for, and I think the artist definitely hit it out of the park.
I thought it was so, creative isn't quite the right word I'm looking for. I mean, it was creative, but I thought it was so cool how so many characters in video games have this really sexy, overly sexual, over curvy thing, and she's so badass, but she's still kind of sexy punk rock, but she's not super curvy. She's got a totally different body style, I feel like, than I've seen in a lot of other games, and I appreciate that as someone who's built like a string bean. So, from me to you, I really like her, and her transmog looks amazing. But I am so impressed with how much deviation there is from a witch doctor. Because I know for a long time it was going to be no necromancer, we're never going to do that again. And then everybody's like, you have a witch doctor, and she doesn't feel anything like playing a witch doctor. Now, what kind of elements did you kind of have to inject into her playstyle in order to ensure that she wasn't just going to be Nazeebo 2.0?
Yeah, I mean, having the witch doctor actually really helped define the necromancer for Diablo 3. We wanted to make sure that there was a link between the Diablo 2 Necromancer to the Diablo 3 Necromancer, and we also wanted to make sure that if you had played the Necromancer in Diablo 2, you were going to be surprised that things were going to be different for you. So the Witch Doctor is very much about poison, for example, and so we decided, okay, the Necromancer is not going to be about poison. We're going to have to figure out other things, and we're going to, what are the themes we're going to explore? How about blood? How about lots of blood and bone, which is obviously a very, very core theme. But she's still going to need pets. The necromancer is going to need pets. So how are we going to differentiate them? And we're going to make sure that your control of the pets is a little bit more active. You have active abilities. You can, we like to call her commander of the dead, so that she can kind of direct her minions on the battlefield. And those were elements that we played with to make sure that she stood apart from the witch doctor.
Yeah, I mean, also thematically, there's a lot of parts of the witch doctor that are, you have toads running around, you have big fish and tornado of piranha, which is awesome. The necromancer feels more serious. She's all about death and life and death and that balance. And thematically, it's going to feel really distinct.
It does feel very distinct. I know at BlizzCon we got a preview of more of, I keep saying her because that's what we saw today, but we got a preview of her ranged abilities at BlizzCon, and today we saw a lot more melee stuff. It almost felt kind of battle magey in a way, because they were obviously magic abilities, but you're right up on them. And the scythe was really cool, and the big blood pool was really cool. And this is a question I'd asked earlier, but we're here now, so why don't we tell everybody? How do you see her being played in a group setting? Is she going to be a tank? Is she going to be more melee? Do you see her being more ranged, or do you think she will truly be very, versatile?
I think players have come to expect with all classes that we're going to give them interesting choices. So you saw at BlizzCon we made kind of a classic summoning necromancer.
Yeah.
Today you saw a more of a melee necromancer that's going to be in there doing blood nova, really want to be in the face and surrounded by enemies. There's going to be even alternatives beyond that. Say you want to go, even more summoning. You want skeletons, you want to bring the blood golem in, you want to use revive to revive fallen enemies, so you just have a massive army. That's a way to play too. I think offering those different choices is what players expect. Additionally, whenever we make sets, the sets tend to drive play styles, so we definitely want to create different sets that are going to drive people to different play styles.
I'm so excited to see what those are going to be. So you brought up the pets again, and you had said earlier that you'll be able to command your pets. And as someone who plays a little bit of Diablo, I didn't play Diablo 2. Gonna be fully transparent right now, but I play a lot of Diablo 3. I love when the new season starts. I love to try to collect all the new things that you guys add. I stream a lot of Diablo. When I stream, I'm a big fan of the game, and I'm curious how her commanding of pets will work. Will that be one of her base abilities, or is it going to be like a secondary bar, like almost in WoW, where you get like a hunter pet bar? Will she have more to do than another hero?
So
or villain?
You will have. I mean, she is a hero. She will save Sanctuary when you play through the campaign.
Spoilers.
In her own way. Some of our skills have a passive and an active component, and that's primarily how we're going to explore this for her. We are giving her active skills. So passively, you're summoning all these skeletons with Command Skeleton, and they're just following you around, and when one dies, another one comes to life on his own. You don't need to worry about that. But when you use the active component of the skill, you are directing them to attack a specific enemy, and that's the kind of thing we're doing. Blood Golem, same thing.
Yep.
We are an active version of Blood Golem where he sacrifices himself to give you back health and then reappears where you've targeted, reconstitutes himself by dealing damage to all the enemies nearby in a quite disgusting and visceral manner.
Yeah, I mean, that really plays into the fantasy of being that commander on the field of what the Necromancer fantasy is all about.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun playing her, and I'm really, really excited to play her on live, which I'm sure everybody is. Yes. And this was a question that had gotten asked earlier, but are you guys doing anything in kind of preparation or anticipation for when Necromancer hits? It's like every single person that season is playing Necromancer. I mean, is this why she's so versatile? You're overrun with Necromancers, and it doesn't matter. They can do everything.
Yeah, so I mean, for us, really, an important step is to get the Necromancer out on the PTR so that we can, help find bugs. But additionally, also get feedback from the community. The community's so passionate, and they give really solid critical analysis to what we've done, and that helps us make a better Necromancer, because ultimately, at the end of the day, when it goes live, we want to deliver the best possible Necromancer we can.
Yeah, and I think you hear that a lot from various game developers, but I feel like Diablo of all games really that shines. I mean, Season 10 is essentially like a player's choice patch. Like, it's so many things that people have been asking for, and you're like, all right, guys, here it is, on a platter, with a bow. Do you like it?
And first season's on console.
I
Season
know.
10.
Yeah.
I know. I didn't know, truthfully, until you said that today, I had no idea that console players didn't have seasons. That's going to be big change.
Yeah, they've really been asking for this for a long time, and we're finally able to deliver it to them.
They're gonna love it.
I really hope so. We've put in a lot of work into that, and it really is the last big thing that was sort of holding back the parity between the two, which is very important for us.
Yeah, the engineers did a great job making it possible for us to bring seasons to console.
Yeah, super excited about that, because I mean, you get on and it's like a season has just started, and like everybody you play Hearthstone with, everyone you play StarCraft with, everyone you play Overwatch with, everyone is on Diablo, and there's like a wait to get on, and it's funny because that's something people complain about, but that's like the most exciting thing. Like, you get on and it's like you have to wait 30 seconds. It's like, oh, this is gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good.
I mean, on the PC, definitely seasons is a reason for people to come back. We feel like people, they put it down for a while. Oh, a new season's coming back. Oh, I'm gonna go back.
Gotta come back for the season for sure.
Finally, console's gonna get seasons. Yeah. So maybe there are people that they bought Diablo 3 a while ago, and then they beat it, and now, seasons are coming. It's a great reason to pick that controller back up.
Yeah, and the rewards for seasons are so reward. I mean, that's such a silly. The rewards are so reward, but they are. I mean, you go in, and if you're someone who collects vanity stuff, you get a pet. If you're someone who likes transmog, you're getting the whole set of gear. A lot of times, by the time you get the gear, you already have the gear anyways. But I really, really like it. This is nothing to do with the interview. I'm just a fan. And then today, when we got to preview the game a little bit, a lot of the abilities that we saw involved like lifesteal and leech. And is that something that's going to carry over into other abilities, or is that kind of going to be more of this sort of melee spec of Necromancer?
I think the leech curse is going to be a curse that you can use. We're using it in the build you saw today, but you're going to use it in different builds. Like, we want to give people the ability to play the game the way they want to play it.
Yeah.
Additionally, it's very difficult to predict how players are going to select the abilities and how they're going to lay out their talents. The runes. So I think it will be surprising to us when it hits the PTR what people are able to come up with.
Theory crafters, man.
Yeah, I mean, additionally, we have so many sets. We have existing legendaries, and we have other classes. And the way that, there's so many different synergies that.
Well, there's new legendaries coming out just for Necro too, right?
Absolutely.
That's so exciting. So I want to wrap this up. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but is there anything else you feel like people should know, or some of your favorite little anecdotal things about Necro that people maybe don't know yet, little tidbits?
Well, one thing to keep in mind is that while there is the Rise of the Necromancer pack coming out, there's also, as we said, Seasons on consoles. There are 2 new zones that are coming out and an upcoming patch that everybody will get for free. So that's
I thought that was part of the Necro DLC. I didn't realize that was free.
No, that's absolutely free. So it'll be 2 new zones, monsters, quests, events, bounties, challenge rifts, which is a new way to play the game, a little new gameplay mode, also part of an upcoming patch. So
is that like WoW, where your gear scales?
No, Challenge Rift is interesting. It's we take a loadout of a player, a real player, like out in the wild, and their skills, their gear, everything, and a greater rift that they ran. And then you are going to have to run the exact same rift with the same loadout, same gear, and try to beat their score. And then you can keep doing it for a set amount of time and try and be better and better and better.
I feel so bad for anybody who gets my builds. Like, that's going to be awful for them.
No, you're going to discover...
Or maybe I'll feel so bad for everybody who gets Quinn's builds, and then they're like, I can't beat this score.
You're going to discover
This is so unfair.
This is what's amazing, is you're going to discover builds you may not have thought of.
Well, that's
you're going to be like,
yeah, I didn't think of that.
This is amazing. This is so fun. I'm going to go and play this class that I usually don't play, and I'm going to aim for this set, and it's great. And you can also challenge your friends on the leaderboard.
It feels like almost some sort of like rapid fire, like random ARAM sort of. That's fun. How about you?
Man, I think probably the biggest thing for me is how much work the teams put into this.
Yeah.
I mean, from the very beginning, we decided if we're going to do this, we've got to make sure it feels on par with the other classes. The last thing we'd want is people to feel like that we didn't deliver the full class experience. So, I mean, that kind of painted us into making like a lot of content. We had to build 20 plus skills, 5 times, runes for every single skill. We did Act 1 through Act 5 in story mode with full VO for male and for female. So, I mean, it ended up being a lot of work, but we decided to make a big bet. I mean, it's the 20th anniversary of Diablo this year, so it was just important to the legacy, and so we really wanted to deliver on it.
I think people are really excited. This was I think this was the jaw drop announcement this year at BlizzCon. Kind of everybody knew Sombra was going to get announced. I mean, we'd been ARGing that for a while, and WoW was Legion had just come out, so we knew we weren't going to get anything big there. And I try to always this is going to happen. These are my guesses, and what. I didn't. I literally, people were like, do you think Necro's coming? I'm like, no. They said Necro was never happening, so I believe them. Necro's never happening, and then foot and mouth. But yeah, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk to me. Everybody's super excited for Necromancer, super excited for Season 10, and I mean, I can't wait for it to get onto the PTR so I can test it out again.
Thanks for checking it out.
Yeah,
thank
it's our pleasure.
You so much. Bye, guys.